everyone, welcome back to the Valley News Now Network. Duke Schindler here joining you on this very blustery first alert weather day we have in the Fargo Moorhead area, and even going north of Grand Forks where a lot of people took the big brunt of this snowstorm. We're here to talk about road conditions, what you should be expecting on your work commute home, as it's going to be a blustery one to say the least, but thankfully the snow should be slowing down by then. Now you guys know the drill if you've been in this stream before. If you want me to check out a specific spot on the road, just let me know in the comments. I'll try to pull that up for you so we know exactly what we're expecting and get you guys home safe here. So we're going to run through a little bit of the weather, the radar that we're looking at right now, dive into a couple sky cams, then we'll hit the road maps here. So I'm going to bring up our Valley News Live weather page here. So this is what we're looking at right now, guys. 0 degrees since the last time I was on. It dropped about a degree, and the wind's picking up just a little bit. You can see when we did our first stream, it was feeling like minus 24. We're back even further down to minus 28, and you see it right there with the wind, 37 miles an hour. And that's without gusts as well. We've seen reports of 60 and 70 mile per hour gusts around the area, and especially in Grand Forks as well, where, like I mentioned, a lot of this storm hit that area pretty hard. As we have had reporters up there all day, we're going to hear from them for Valley News Live at 4, so make sure you tune in for that update because they've been doing a great job up there in Grand Forks. But taking a look at what to expect for the rest of the day here, guys. You saw it right there, 0 degrees right now, and the wind slowly dying down as the night goes on. Thankfully, by 6 p.m., it should be down to about 25 miles an hour, which would be ideal for a lot of people. But then you see the temperatures dipping as well. -1 heading into 6. That's going to go -3, 4, 5, 6, all the way heading into tomorrow. 2 a.m., you're already seeing -8. Then when you're kind of waking up from work, 6 a.m., 7 a.m., -10. But the big thing is here, you see those winds, not nearly as devastating as we've seen here today. So we'll pull up the radar here and give you guys a look at what we've been experiencing here today. Right, this is going to be the past, going all the way up to about 2:40, so literally about 4 minutes ago. This starts at 8:50 a.m. and if you were here for the last stream, I mentioned that I came into work around 9. It was looking just fine on the roads. Obviously, winds were still pretty nasty, but not much precipitation, not much snowfall coming until about 10 o'clock. You see it right there on the screen. Kind of right below me there, too. You can barely see the time. 9:55, that's when kind of the snowstorm enters the area and pretty much covers Fargo for the majority of today. That's why we've been seeing so much snow blowing through the air. That wind obviously does not help either. That's bringing us all the way up to where we are now, pretty much cleared of this storm. I do want to zoom out a little bit, though, to show you what Grand Forks pretty much went through. This back to 8:50, so just before 9 a.m. today. This is what Grand Forks was looking at, just absolutely downing snow in that area. And the winds were just as devastating. It stuck around all the way until just past 1. Yep, pretty much just past 1 for Grand Forks. Thankfully, they should be mostly out of the worst of this storm. We'll check on the Grand Forks sky cam here in a bit as well. But then we'll go and look towards the future as we will see winds starting to die down and this storm move out of the area. This is about pretty much right where we are now, about 2:45 p.m. As you can see, not much of this storm left. Might get a couple flakes here. As you can see, there's a little bit of moisture, a little bit of precipitation hanging around just west of Fargo. But as you can see, this storm's heading straight through Minnesota into Wisconsin. And Wausau, the last place I worked at as well. Shout out Wausau. That's kind of what things are looking like here on the radar. So once, like I mentioned, once we get to about 6 p.m., most of the winds should be dying down right back to about 25 miles an hour. That's without wind gusts and wind chills, but still going to be very, very bitterly cold out there when the winds are still as strong as they are. Moving over to the sky cams here, we'll pull up the fairgrounds of West Fargo, and this is kind of what what the sky cam looked like last time we were on the stream here a couple hours ago. But we do see some visibility this time around. Obviously, the snow's blowing everywhere at the West Fargo Fairgrounds there and moving around that camera. And as you can see, even behind me, this is one of our sky cams. Top left corner. Here, I'll move to the other side. Top left corner here. It says not enough power for both camera and pan tilt motors. That's the type of weather the cameras are braving up out there. And then a couple screenshots here from Red River Bridge west of Fargo here. Not looking too bad, not looking too bad. But still plenty of coverage here at this time. You can't really get a good look on if the roads are really that icy or not. Just make sure if you're heading out tonight, watch for the black ice. That could cause many, many issues for drivers here. As if the visibility is low, it's going to be even harder to see that black ice on the road. Now let's check in with Grand Forks, see how they're doing. I will say, last time we checked in on Grand Forks, and if you were on this last stream with us as well, you saw there was barely any visibility. This is kind of what the Skycam looked like, actually, the last snowstorm we addressed here. Right? Still blustering winds, but at least you can finally have some visibility here. Those roads don't look too bad considering what they just went through, but still plenty of coverage there in Grand Forks. And as you can see at the top, minus 31 wind chill for them. Just a brutal storm they had to sit through. And again, shout out our reporters up there in Grand Forks, Selah and Austin, doing a great job as they pretty much hunkered down for tonight. Moving on to the Dakota Magic Casino, a little more visibility here if you were on our last stream and saw that. A little more visibility, but still violent winds. Really, I don't know how those flags are holding on right now. That's really impressive, actually. Blowing. But you see still some traffic. There's still some people out and about in the roads. You can't really see the ice. They don't look too bad unless there's ice on the roads. We'll wrap it up with the sky cams there and move on to highway from Twin Valley to Furt. Okay, we got got a request here from Audrey. Highway conditions on State Highway 32 from Twin Valley to Furt. Okay, perfect. We'll try to take a look at that whenever we can here, Audrey. We'll take a look at what Fargo is looking like right now. As a whole, I-29 is completely closed still. This update came about, I believe, right on the last stream, I believe. But I-29 all the way from the Canadian border down to South Dakota, that is completely closed off right now. So if you're planning on heading there, you might have to look at different options. As you can see on the left-hand side, we'll bring up the key here so you know what you're looking at. Completely blocked off red. That's going to be closed, blocked areas. Much of the area in Fargo is no travel advised. So as you can see, it's that kind of candy cane looking stripes on the map here. And then as I was kind of making my way into work today, I got in at about 9, just before 9. When you take a look at this map, and if you can see my cursor here, Fargo was completely in the clear when I first walked into work here, and a lot of Devil's Lake and north of Devil's Lake and west was completely covered in red. That's since kind of mitigated here. As you can see, a lot of roads now in that purple and gray. That's scattered snow drifts. As we were expecting, our first alert storm team did a great job of making sure that you guys knew about what was coming to this area. That dark purple would be snow-covered roads, but I don't see too many around in this area. The green, that obviously means pretty good conditions, seasonal conditions, a little bit of snow, I'd imagine. And then for the yellow, that's ice and compacted snow with a lot of those winds blowing snow back onto the roads, drivers going over them, turning it into ice. So make sure if you're in the north of North Dakota area, make sure you're watching for icy conditions. I do want to check out a couple of these. Yeah, Zachary is asking if we can look at Fargo and Moorhead. We'll take a look at Fargo right now here, Zachary, as we kind of look at North Dakota as a whole. We'll move into Minnesota here in a second to show you what that's looking like in the Moorhead area as well. But we'll check out a couple road cams here too of pictures, what things are looking like on 29. This is going to be closed off, like I mentioned. You can't see really too much really on the roads right now, but a lot of this obviously has to do with the wind. These wide open areas can really kind of push your car around. I know it scares me once in a while here too. A little bit closer, kind of the I-29 and 94 kind of where they meet here. This is coming off the exit of 9th Street of 94. Still really not looking that bad, but you do see some snow-covered roads here. Could be some ice under it. You know, it's obviously hard to tell with still pictures, so use extra caution. But this is actually a really good example of what we're experiencing and why some of these roads are closed right now. The visibility is just not great out there right now. Even though the snow has slowed down quite a bit, there's still going to be the wind gusts that are blowing that around, really reducing visibility. And that's kind of a look at what the road actually looks like. I'm no expert to say there's ice there or there's no ice there. Just always be proceeding with caution, especially when we're dealing with what we are dealing with right now. A little bit west of Fargo on 94 here. This is just over the bridge on Main Ave. Just a lot of the I'm assuming we're going to see a lot of the same when we check out these pictures. Just some snow-covered roads. Can't really tell if there's going to be ice there or not, but winds are going to be affecting the area. That is for sure. Over to Castleton, west, a little further west of West Fargo and Fargo. A little bit of the same here. And then, yeah, just on the highway there, you can see the snow kind of blowing across the road. Always be watching out for that, as it can kind of take your car in a direction you really do not want to be in. So, a little further west, Valley City. Not available, of course. Got some sunshine there. That's always good to see. And this picture was taken at about just before 3 here. Actually, this picture just came in a few minutes ago. So this is what it's looking like near Valley City. Not too bad here at this time. That's going to be, that sunlight is going to come in clutch if there's any ice on the roads. So it's looking not too bad west of Fargo, heading into Valley City, Jamestown. Jamestown's in the green as seasonal / good conditions. Yeah, and you can see that there. Pretty nice if you're into Jamestown. We'll go a little further down into Wahpeton as we see I-29 being closed there as well. That's what they're experiencing there. So that's going to be about 234. Oh, the visibility is just not great. This is why they have I-29 closed down here. And this is on North Dakota 13 specifically. But, man, the visibility is brutal there. I would be scared to be on those roads if I was going anywhere south of Fargo. Near Wahpeton, where we're seeing a lot of high winds. Near a little bit closer to the border here of South Dakota. Not bad. But obviously there's a reason why those roads and I-29 is closed off. There's going to be a lot of moisture around that area, and if there's snow that does freeze, it's going to turn to ice quickly and make for some really slick conditions. We'll definitely be keeping an eye out as well when it comes down to when I-29 may be able to open here at this time. Zachary, for travel times, yeah, just kind of wait as this storm kind of passes through. I'm going to go back and just kind of refresh what we are expecting here in the hour-by-hour basis. 3 p.m., you see the precipitation down to 20% chance. And there's a little blob on that map that might give us some snow, might not. But really what you got to be looking out for is that wind. So if you're planning on taking I-29, you're going to have to take an alternate route. But when it comes down to it, your 4 p.m.s, 5 p.m.s, 6 p.m.s, yeah, it's going to get a little colder. But you see the winds dip down a little bit, getting a little closer to not too bad of conditions, especially for the Fargo, Moorhead area, where we do see plenty of wind and we're very, very familiar with. That should be it for on the North Dakota side. Let's check very north of Grand Forks, where a lot of this storm really pushed through. Yeah, you can see just snow drifts piling up there. As we move into Minnesota, I'm going to give this a refresh. A lot of pretty much the west side of Minnesota, from the border of Minnesota, North Dakota, Canada, pretty much all the way down to Fargo is going to be brutal, brutal conditions. We'll start in the Fargo area. As you can see, I'm going to move over myself here so there's a little bit, so you can see the key that we are looking at. A little bit of the same. The green means normal conditions, seasonal conditions. Once you get to pink, completely covered, purple, travel absolutely not advised here at this time. We'll go see this road closed alert. Let's pull that up and see what this is all about. Between 10th Street North and 14th Street North of Moorhead, the road's closed because of construction work. We knew that already. As far as what things are looking like around US 75, this is kind of what we're seeing. Snow's blowing onto the roads, kind of sticking around there as well. But nothing too unmanageable at this time. We just took a peek at that. Let's see if we can get the, no plow cameras are out in that area. So it's looking like, as far as I can tell, this is on US 10. Nothing too out of the ordinary, especially when we're getting exactly what we've gotten here. It's pretty much pushed through the Moorhead area, and we're going to take a look at the radar too, just to kind of confirm that a little later on. Going a little further onto Highway 10 here. It's just going to be a lot of that blowing snow getting back onto the roads after being cleared off, but nothing too out of the ordinary we're seeing here. As we continue south on 75. Not sure what that is, but this is what it's looking like, kind of at a four-way intersection at a stoplight. This could be near 12th Avenue. You can definitely see there's plenty of snow still blowing onto those roads and sticking around too. So approaching stoplights is going to be big as well, since a lot of that snow is going to be compacted down from slow-moving cars. A little further south, let's get on to 40th Ave South. Just a lot of the same of what we're seeing here on US 75. Not too bad, looks manageable, but you always got to keep your eyes out and peeled for potential ice. We'll go a little further down 94 here and catch a snowplow cam. Right, this is getting a little towards Downer here, but as we pull up the snowplow cam, this is at about 2:40, so about 20 minutes ago. Road's looking a little dark, a little moist, but nothing crazy here that you can really see, at least from the still image. But if you can see here, the visibility still isn't great. That's what the wind is going to do to you here. So that's if you're traveling a little further down I-94. Let's check out Rothsay. Oof. Now it says, as you saw on the map, it says the conditions did look good around there, but as you can see from this still image, make sure you're driving at your own risk. Make sure what you're getting into. That's why we're here on the desk right now, to kind of show you what things are looking like, because obviously with these websites there's a lot to update. It's easy to just pull up the cameras and see kind of what it's looking like here. This, I don't think we have a timestamp on this one on 94 near County Road 11. I do not see a timestamp on there, but usually with these cameras and pictures, it's usually within the half hour, as we've seen. Closer to Fergus, we'll pull this up. The visibility isn't great, guys. That's pretty much what I'm getting here. I'll go ahead and check the comments, see if we have anything else coming down. How's I-29? How's I-29? Well, we can certainly take a look at that. If you're planning on driving on I-29, that road is closed at this time. You can see on the key here that solid red is closed and blocked off, and I'll take off the cameras here to give you a better look. So yeah, pretty much all the way from the Canadian border down to South Dakota, that I-29 is going to be closed off here at this time. We can take a look at what it looks like, but always got to keep making sure that to let you know this I-29 is closed off at this time. So this is what it's kind of looking like here on the roads. There is one person out, I see. This is about 2:30 this picture was snapped. It's making its way, that's for sure. Let's just put it at that. We'll take a look at tomorrow here as well, Cindy Joe, in just a second. And actually, we could probably do that right now, right before I get you kind of through Grand Forks going into Minnesota. As you can tell here, this is see plenty of closures. So this is US 75 road closed, whiteouts, drifting snow, and that's what's going to be a lot of these. Between North Dakota State Line and Stevens Drive in Crookston, that road is closed, warning of whiteout conditions. If you are traveling north into Minnesota or near Grand Forks in North Dakota, be wary of what is going to be out there, what roads are open, what roads are closed. This one between Minnesota 1 and 11, there are warnings of more whiteout conditions. And this is going to be continuing through, let's say, for most of the afternoon here. US 75 north of Crookston. Once you kind of break off there, the road is also closed. Warnings of more whiteout conditions. Look out for drifting snow. Road is slippery. Visibility is reduced. This picture was snapped 2:47, just about a little over 15 minutes ago. That is a pretty violent looking wind gust, to say the least. Then this is when you get a little closer into town here on US 75. Looking a little better, but you can see that very much the winds are making big impacts on that area. Just east of North Dakota, east of Grand Forks, going into Minnesota. Between the start of Minnesota 175 and US 75, roads closed for whiteout conditions. This is kind of what you'll be dealing with. The storm itself has pretty much passed through the area, but with these wind conditions, it can make for something very much more scary when you get those snow drifts. Things are building up and whatnot. So now that you guys got a good look at what these road conditions are looking like, I'll give you one last peek. That's kind of what we're seeing here. I-29, like I mentioned, is closed, blocked off until further notice. We should be expecting it to reopen back up sometime tonight as the winds continue to die down. We're going to check that out right now here. Give this thing a little refresh. Still 0 degrees outside. Northwest winds, it looks like at 36 miles an hour, and it feels like minus 28 out there. A crazy difference between just your regular temperature and when the wind chill really comes into effect. Taking a look at the hourly, and we will take a look at tomorrow as well, Cindy Joe. The rest of the night, you see here, precipitation is going to be on the low. May see a couple flakes here and there. The brunt of what you're going to see is just the wind blowing whatever snow was dropped here. Blowing that around, making the visibility really tough out there. So everyone make sure you drive safe on that work commute home. 4 p.m., a little bit of the same. You see the winds tapering off a little bit, right, to 32 miles an hour, 30, 25 as the night goes on. Right, it's probably better to drive a little later in this day or when you get off work, but also keep in mind that these temperatures are still dropping as the wind drops itself. So moving on to the rest of the night, it's only going to get colder heading into tomorrow. Right, -3 at 7, -7 once it hits midnight, and once you kind of wake up for work from 5 to 7 a.m., it's going to be around -10, but at least we have those winds dying down a little bit, about 6 miles an hour, and that's without wind chill as well. That's without wind gusts that are expected. Heading into tomorrow, it shouldn't be too bad. I did talk with our meteorologist. Obviously, if you had to choose to drive between today and tomorrow, tomorrow is going to be your best bet. And then as we kind of head into the rest of the day, it's going to be a little bit of a quick warm-up going from that -2 at 10 a.m. back up to 11. And then we'll go and take a look at the 3-day outlook, 10-day outlook. So it's going to be it's going to be an interesting weekend. 2 today, got that precipitation, winds. Friday, things are going to be dying down a little bit, but still expect some winds coming into the picture, making things a little tough on driving if there's still snow blowing around there. But it does warm up to 22 degrees until Saturday once it cools down again, back down to 8, and then a low of -7. Luckily, we get to see a little sunshine, but it's going to be coming into the next week where things really start to look up for everyone here. Just get through the weekend, guys. Get home safe, get to your destination safe, and that coming Christmas weekend, right, Sunday, 13 with a high. Maybe seeing some precipitation, maybe some things move through the area. I'll leave that to our meteorologist to tell you that. I can just read the numbers here. 27 degrees Monday, 19 Tuesday, 24 Wednesday, Thursday 28, Friday 24, just looking like a great Christmas week. And if I had to trade off, having this weather before Christmas than during Christmas, I'll take that any day, any day. One more check at the radar here, and I'll let you guys go. And we kind of know what just happened here in the past, so we'll start kind of with the future radar. Nothing. You see, and that's the little blip I mentioned. You may see some snowflakes coming in here tonight from this little blip, but most of that, like I said, will be the blowing snow. But otherwise, it's looking pretty clear heading into tonight. Wind will still be a factor, obviously, but I can't see it being obviously as bad as we've had it this morning heading into the afternoon here. One more check at the sky cams here. This one's always good here with the Dakota Magic Casino. Winds still very much a factor here, blowing the sky cam around. Otherwise, back around the fairgrounds in West Fargo, it's a little bit of the same. That's kind of what we're dealing with here. So if you're planning on driving tonight, take it easy. If you don't have to drive, there's no reason to drive here, especially with these conditions. Tomorrow is always a new day, so just got to make sure everyone is safe out there. As far as that goes, I think I'll wrap it up right there. I don't see any other comments to address. Let me take a peek. Yep, looking pretty good here. So thank you guys very much for joining me here on the Valley News Now desk as we go through some serious road conditions as everyone else makes the commute home. Just got to say, make sure you're safe out there. If you don't have to drive, no need. Just grab some hot chocolate, enjoy a movie. Santa Claus is coming to town. It's one of my favorites here for the Christmas season. But thank you guys very much for joining me again here on the Valley News Now desk. For Duke Schindler, we'll catch you later.